Okay, so I've chosen a few colours to try and get a colour scheme going, and using my sheet here, and we'll just have to see how it goes, because the colours, like this 31, I want to do the cat that colour, and it's called dark yellow, so it's nothing like a yellow. I'd call this a dark yellow, so that's called a lemon yellow. And I've got these, I put these two a light green, so this is 174. Where's that? Can never find them when I'm looking, because they look nothing like the colours, but this one, oh, it does. It's a spring dim green, it's called 174, and I thought I'd put a blue with it, so I'm going to use a light blue, and it's 183. So I thought these two colours here, just being light, and to use a darker blue, I thought I'd use number 63, which is this one. It's sort of like a greeny blue. Sorry, I'm holding it off camera. And then I'll put this 172 with it, which is this green up here. So two different shades. And then I've chosen for the deck of the ship walnut, which is this light brown here, because if I want to make a wood grain effect, I'll use probably this one. This one might be a bit dark. Maybe this one. We'll see. We'll colour it in first. We'll see how we go. So I'm going to start with the stripes on his top first. And I'm going to use the thin nib and try and remember not to go too close to the edge so it doesn't bleed. But it's almost like colouring as an adult. We have to unlearn all the rules. We have to stop being so afraid of making a mistake or looking foolish, which when I did my first video I thought, oh, everyone's going to be laughing at me and no one's going to come back and watch me and encourage me. But it hasn't been like that. Everyone's been wonderful, because we all have to learn somewhere. And just make sure that you can see what I'm doing. So these are just children's books that I'm starting with, and somebody suggested to get myself some really nice adult books, and I probably will if I decide to keep going with it. I've been doing a bit of colouring in the evening while I've been watching some movies on my tablet. I watch movies and TV shows online, and I've found it quite relaxing, and it gives my hands a break so that they're not getting sore from too much crochet and knitting, and it's nice to have a break. And the biggest thing, I felt guilty. I felt really guilty enjoying myself, doing something relaxing, and thinking I should be working. I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Now look, we're going to see the lines through underneath. So this is why the cheap kiddies books aren't going to be any good, but it's good for me to practice on, because they were a gift, but also it gets my confidence up that I'm actually improving before I spend a lot of money on some of the lovely adult books. But yes, to think about, you know, we're wasting our time. We should be busy 24/7 and we should be doing this and doing that. And it was quite hard for me to sit down and do nothing. And it's just me pushing the lids on. I have to push down. It's quite hard. So it was very, not stressful, but very different, where I had to relax a little bit and think, hang on a minute, just have some fun. Just enjoy yourself. Now this is a darker green that I got. The 172. Oops. I don't know if that's going to fade. There it is. So everyone's using Ohuhu markers and they'd be lovely. But I haven't found them anywhere. But I got given these. And I thought they'll be okay to start with. And if I decide I'm no good with these alcohol markers, and always leaving lines and streaks because I'm colouring in the wrong way, you meant to do great big long ones like this. Whoops, there I go over the edge. So my hand-eye coordination isn't very good. I've got really bad eyesight. I do struggle. So maybe, just maybe, I might be better off with pencils or felt pens or gel pens. So it's a journey. Now this is where other people, I've seen them, they go up and down. And that's meant to be what you do, up and down. But my hand, I have a bit of a tremor. And so I find I'm not as good as all the young people. So I just have to do it my way, and that's why I don't mind the streaks. It's all about having a go, enjoying yourself and not comparing yourself to the best ones out there. We're not all going to be the best at everything. So this is what I'm doing. I'm holding it down and pushing. That's what that noise is. Pushing very hard. So I have watched other tutorials, and yes, they talk about you just choose a colour scheme, not every single colour under the sun in one picture. But then that's okay too, because I like a lot of colour these days, especially in my clothes. I thought, okay, I'll try a colour scheme. Usually they have red and white striped tops, pirates, but I thought I'd do a bluey greeny colour scheme. And it's 2 different shades. What's that looking like so far? And here's his patches. I like this green. So I'm just going around the black dots because some people go right over them, but somebody said their black lines and dots bled. So no idea what this cheap colouring book will be like. And I have to teach myself and remind myself. Oh, I was right off screen there, sorry. I did this little patch in blue. But yeah, I'm having to teach myself and remind myself that it's okay to sit and relax sometimes and look after my mental health. I don't have to be forever running around and working 24/7 and making myself exhausted. Because the world's such a busy place, busy and noisy, and it is stressful. It is very stressful, and we need to find a way just to take some time out from the busy world. And also with the storm that's happening today at the moment, and there's another region south of me with no power, that it's good to have a hobby, to find yourself some sort of hobby that doesn't need power. So I've got my knitting and I've got my crochet because I've got all my yarn. And now I've got a bit of colouring to do. And it brings me joy. And what colour shall I do his shorts? I feel like I need to bring in a different colour. Red shorts? I feel like we need a little bit of something else. A little bit of something else. And this is good. This is where I can hold it like this. We don't want pinks. And I can put the colours beside each other and think yes, no. We're not going to think about that yet, but let's do the cat. Let's move this up a bit so you can see a bit better. I've only got a fixed thing for my camera to sit on. It doesn't move around. There you go. I see he's got different colours in his tail here, different sections, so let's just colour him in anyway. Marmalade colour cat. So the wind's been howling outside today and it makes me feel a bit more cosy. If I keep some of the curtains closed, especially on the west side where the wind and the rain comes from. The rain has been hitting those windows so hard that if I leave some of my curtains closed, I feel safer. And of course, poor Holly, I have to time her toilet visits in the storm and I go out with her. The puppy's still using the puppy pads, so that's a relief. Sometimes I wish in the winter storms that Holly would still use a puppy pad, but she won't. Won't have anything to do with them. Sometimes it's so windy, Holly actually gets blown over because we get some amazing storms here on the west coast, the North Island and the South Island. I said earlier my caravan was rocking so hard I thought it was going to tip over. And yet I was down at the beach the other day, if you saw that video, and it was beautiful. It was calm. And it's not cold here yet. Not really. We've had a few colder nights. It's been cooler, but it's not cold. Just got my cardigan on and some track pants. Sometimes I'll take my cardigan off and just have a t-shirt. And even take my socks off and have bare feet, so it's not cold. Very strange weather. There you go. How do you like his marmalade cat? What shall we do with the tail? Just do it the same colour anyway, shall we? So some of the colour schemes people do with the shading, excuse me, with the shading and the different colours is just amazing. There you go. Not bad so far, but better than the first picture I did. Still not sure what to do about his shorts. So we'll leave those. I'm thinking he's got a bright belt buckle. Okay, let's do a scarf on his head. We're going to keep to the same colour scheme. I don't want to go anything too different, but do I bring in a different shade, or do I put little red dots with the blue to bring in a bit of colour? That's what I was thinking about, bringing in a bit of red. If I brought in some red, do I bring in a dark rose? These are light, that's darker. That's a real bright red, that one. I don't know if you can really see. There's hardly any difference in the colours. It's very hard to see. The contemplation. I feel like I should stick to the colour scheme. But I want to bring in a bit of colour. I'm going to sit here and think about it. What about this grey for the sword? There's a blue, see this one's called blue grey and this one's called, those are both called blue greys. One's a 7 and one's a 5. And this is a cool grey and this is a cool grey, a 3 and a 5. Can you see? So that's blue grey and blue grey, and they're totally different. A light and a dark, and then this is cool grey and this is cool grey, different. And then this is blue grey and this is blue grey. This is almost black. So what colour do I do the blade? This blue grey or the cool grey? Because it's a cool colour, isn't it? I might do CG3. CG3. I haven't got that down yet. Right. CG3 cool grey. Let's have a go with that. And this is where I should be using the chisel side, shouldn't I? But I have trouble with that side. You know, I don't need music on when I do things, Sometimes it's good. Oops, now that's going to leave a... That's bad. Okay, made a mistake there. That dried off, so I've gone over that twice, and now it's got a bit of a yucky look. Never mind. I'm more interested in getting the colour scheme right than I'm not going to panic about everything, so I don't know, I might keep to the same colour scheme. I feel like doing red shorts, but no, I won't. What if you bring in a really dark colour for the shorts? There's that really bright blue, or dark blue, bright blue, whichever one do you want to call it, but there's these colours here, and they're a teal, almost a turquoise, greeny blue. So what's this darker colour I'm using? 63. So I'm using this for the darker blue, and that would be... It's got a greeny colour in it. And then what's the dark green that I'm using? 172. What if I brought in a really dark green like 55 or 50? Decisions. So this is what I struggle with, is making sure I get the right colours. 61 might be better. Oh, let's go with 61. Let's go with 61. Let's move it up so you can see my choice of colour. Oh, that's dark, isn't it? So this is 61 and it's peacock green. So it's keeping with the colour scheme, but it's bringing in a totally different colour. I always go left to right because my hand's resting on the page, but I suppose I should start over here so there's not going to be so much colour difference when it dries out. Or I should just learn to use the chisel. Let's have a go at the chisel end on the other side. Whoops. I just don't feel confident at all. How do you manage to use the chisel? I don't feel confident at all. It's so wide. I like this little nib bit, and look, I went right over the edges there. It's bled. I didn't go over the edges, it's bled. It's very saturated with ink. Just takes practice, I guess. You can't hear it, but I can hear that wind raging outside. My walls were creaking earlier. There you go, a real dark green, brought in a different colour, but it still matches the colour scheme. Oh, the lid on. It's not looking too bad. I'm getting better with the colour schemes, I think, just learning to keep to 2 or 3 colours. Right, let's do his scarf on his head. Oh, I see, that's the line for his eye patch. I see, I thought that was a bit of funny hair. Oh, the sun's come out, but it's still windy. I can feel the lights changing behind me. I might bring in a different blue. I might bring in, oh, where is it? So I used 61 for the shorts, but I might bring in a 64. Or 65. What am I using here? 63. Just a different shade of blue. Did I say 65? Where's that? 65. Here it is. That's called ice blue. I wouldn't call it an ice blue. Holly's having a drink of water out of her bowl, and the puppy isn't happy. Puppy wants to come out of his playpen and play, but while the sun's out, I should take them out. Let them have a run around outside. Where's she gone, puppy? Is she gone for a walk down the rest of the hallway? Holly's gone for a walk down the hallway, so puppy's going to grizzle. He's left behind. He's in his playpen because Holly didn't feel like rough playing today because he doesn't know how to be gentle. So maybe if I just like using the nib like this, maybe I'd be better with coloured pencils. But these markers are certainly lovely to use. Plenty of ink. Just glides on. The only problem I have is with the getting the lids on and off. So there you go, that's brought in a different blue. Certainly doesn't look like ice blue to me. There you go. Still keeping in with the colour scheme. Not bad so far. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to bring in some red, I think. I'm going to bring in this geranium, which is number 15. And I'm going to do the red dots, and I might regret it. Might ruin the whole colour scheme, but this is how we learn. And I feel like just a little bit of colour won't hurt. So someone else said to me that you can use the markers as a base colour and use colouring and pencil on the top to do shading, or you don't have to do shading or highlights with gel pens. You can just I think it's just called flat colouring. There you go. I don't think that ruined it. Bit of red, bit of colour. So should I keep the red going in a red star or a yellow star? Because there's no other yellow in the picture, but I'm thinking he can have blonde hair. But I haven't really got a good yellow for hair. I've got that really bright yellow, or then it goes orange yellow. I could do black hair or brown hair, but even those don't look like the right shades to me of the brown, because I thought if you had the yellow star you'd have yellow there. But I think I'm going to do a goldy colour for his belt buckle. And this belt can be brown. So 102. Where's 102 for his belt? And then what colour was I looking at? I forget every time. That might be a bit bright. That's an orangey. That's what I've used for the cat. It's too orange. Might try 35. 35, 37. Okay, we'll try this. Let's do the belt buckle in this colour. Can you see? Make sure I'm in shot. Just a bit of gold in the picture, because he's a pirate. So, gold belt buckle. And whoops. A brown belt. There you go. That looks pretty good. Oh, puppy. Puppy wants to play. So I'm thinking he's got a black eye patch. I always do little circles. It just comes naturally. I find it easier than doing lines. Will I ruin it? Let's turn my picture sideways a little bit. Will I ruin it if I just do a little bit darker on the eye patch strap? Just to make it stand out a little bit more. Right. Did they have wooden handles? So I've got two browns here. One brown was going to be for the floor of the ship, which is this walnut, and the other brown I've just used for his belt is the 102. So I'm thinking I might keep it the 102 for the handle. Oop. I think this is going quite well. So how long have you been colouring as an adult? How many years or months or weeks? So I suppose after I finish this I should get on with doing some more of my crochet and my knitting. But it's been a nice break. And I've enjoyed spending this time with you, doing something new. Do I do that bit brown as well? This is where I worry I could ruin it. I feel like that's metal because they couldn't make that shape out of wood. So I'm thinking Holly's making noises while she's rolling around on the ground. Shall I do that black or a dark grey? Let's keep it black. You see what I'm doing. So what are you doing while you're watching me? Are you colouring in as well? I see people have colouring in buddies, so when they have the same book, they do the same picture. But I'm assuming they just choose their own colours and then see what it looks like, or do they choose the same colours and do it exactly the same? There you go. Just the hare, the star and the deck. I'm quite pleased with that. Fancy being an adult and being pleased. So has the cat got a black nose, or will that be too black? What colour is the cat's nose? That's better. That is better. Right. I'll have a short break and I might just give the puppy a run outside and I'll come back to finish it. And I feel like a yellow star and yellow here to match, but a different yellow to this, but I don't know. Maybe I should have a red star to match the red dots. What do you think? but I quite like the colour scheme. That's really good, using 2 or 3 colours in a picture and then just a few highlights. So I'll be back in a second. So I just had to have a bit of a break. We had a tornado go just a bit south of us. So no wonder it was getting a bit windy and a bit scary, but now it's blue sky and it's still ultra windy, but it's not quite as bad. So people have lost roofs and fences and trees and all sorts. So thankfully I'm doing okay and my caravan's still standing up. So I'll finish this, and then I've just had another order for some more different colour headbands to come in. So I need to get them done and then I'll drop them all off down at the shop. But I might go out tomorrow or the next day when the wind's stopped, because I don't like going out when it's this windy. And yeah, so crazy weather. But anyway, so I think I'm going to do the star yellow, the same as his buckle, just to keep it the same colour. And I've enjoyed this. The colouring kept me safe while it was crazy weather outside. Who knew? So my friends have all been in touch with me to see if I'm okay, and I had no idea it was going on till I just had a look on Facebook. So doing the colouring meant I had no idea what was going on. So I'm going to do his hair brown. I thought about yellow and I thought, no, I'll do it brown. So I hate it when you hear the wind screaming outside, but I was concentrating on this so much that it kept me calm. So there you go. Whereas when you're knitting and crocheting, you're not quite concentrating as hard anymore once you know the patterns. So there's proof that colouring is lovely and relaxing. But I'm certainly not going to go out in this weather today. Yeah, I've just about finished. Apart from the skin colour, I'm not sure if I'll do this skin at the moment. I've got 2 really pale colours. 109 is extremely pale, and then I've got this sort of pinky skin tone. But I'm not going to do that yet, but I'm going to do this walnut colour for the deck of the ship. And I'm going to try using the chisel end. Seeing it's such a big area, surely I won't make a mess. Oh, I can hear that wind. It's still stormy, but every so often you get this. It's not even a gust, because it lasts longer than a gust. It's like it's just, oops, I made a mess around his toes. It's angry out there today. Okay, so there is a lot more ink on this side, and look, I've made a terrible mess on his foot. So let's just keep our distance. There you go. Wonder if I'll be able to do the make it look like wooden plank. I'll use a different darker colour and do some squiggles. So I tried putting Puppy out on the deck to play, and Holly dashed out to the toilet. She was not happy, and Puppy did not want to stay on the deck even though it stopped raining. They don't like that scary wind, and I don't blame them. Just making sure that you can still see what I'm doing. Move it over a little bit more. So we've had lots of quite big earthquakes lately, and now this windstorm, as I call it, and a tornado. They're expecting a tornado to come down our area about a week or so ago, and it didn't turn up. It actually stayed up by Australia. But I know my friend was worried, so I just messaged her to ask if she was okay. So I'm going to wait for the floor to dry before I add the darker squiggles. I might even go and get myself some lunch. When the wind starts like this, I make sure I boil the jug and have some hot water somewhere, but I usually drink cold water or a bit of juice. I'm not a coffee addict, which makes it easier when you have no power. You can still grab your bottled water. And it doesn't matter if you don't cook, because I had some salad stuff still left in the fridge from my shopping trip the other day. Dogs have been enjoying a bit of chicken as a treat. There you go. Apart from a skin colour and doing the floor and a bit of texture, I'm very pleased with my colour scheme. So I'm going to get myself some lunch, and then I'll come back and just do a wood grain effect on the floor. But what a shame I got all that all over his foot. I suppose I could colour all that in some dark colour, and it looked like he's wearing a big boot, big black boot. And I'd like to make the marmalade cat have some, what do you call those cats when they have different colours, orange and brown and white? But no, I don't want to ruin it. So there you go. I'll be back in a second when this is dried a bit more, and go and get myself something to eat.